and welcome back to the channel. Today we are discussing historic Old Central High School in Duluth, Minnesota. Built in less than 2 years in 1892, this brownstone giant castle-like structure is an icon of the city of Duluth. Her signature brownstone tower is the hillside's signature landmark visible from around the city. Here is the only known construction photo of Central High School. There's a few odd things if you notice right away. Notice the watermark up on the top right. This building looks ancient already. It's supposedly being built in less than 2 years, mind you. And the only thing is there's no scaffolding, there's no materials on the ground. And if you go up to the top, it looks like with the vanilla sky, they've also just, a perfect outline of the very top of the tower. I mean, it looks manipulated. Otherwise, there's no tools, no materials, nothing down below. It seems odd. And the discoloration, not to mention. Recently, I was able to get up close and personal with Central. It's been almost, or maybe even over 2 years since they started construction, quote unquote. There's very little exterior work done, nothing too visible. And internally, they're transitioning it into apartment buildings or apartments. But it's interesting. Maybe they should have brought in the horse and wagons and built it from scratch and done it in less than 2 years. But anyway, I noticed these gargoyles up top for the first time, and they're almost like kind of like griffins, kind of interesting looking. And I noticed this face. I hadn't seen this before. These three things I came back to take pictures of. And I've seen this building a million times. The harder you look at it, the more detail that you end up seeing. You can see that it also, in different angles and at different times of day, the color even changes in this supposed brownstone. You can see this lattice work here. It's incredible. And then to be still there, since 1892, in our climate, there's faces even carved into it, as you can see. I've circled in here, and we have harsh winters up here in northern Minnesota. I mean, and you can see the way that the stone looks. It kind of changes in the light. It is supposedly brownstone that's been quarried. Is that Lady Liberty? Mithra? Then you notice up top, I didn't know these faces, these gargoyles, and then you close up to them. And look at how, I mean, they're starting to wear a bit, but look at how crazy detailed they are. You've got the lion and this Joker-looking character. I mean, it's so lifelike. It's incredible. And to be in such, I mean, that's probably the most worn-looking part. Everything else almost looks brand new, relatively. Look at these faces. There's multiple different faces as you go around. All the different wings. This place is an entire city square block. There's tunnels below it. You can see mud flood windows on it. You can see it even in the construction photos. It's beautiful. It looked like a castle in Europe if somebody were to not tell you where you were seeing these pictures. You can see the giant eagles over the doors. I mean, all the work. Out in front where this flagpole was, I think that they used to have an obelisk at one time. I forgot to add that according to the official narrative, all this brownstone was brought up with horse and wagon before we had many city streets. Was brought up from right now driving in a vehicle, about a 30-minute one-way trip. That was all hauled up and somehow not even mentioned. But again, thanks again, and like and subscribe. Have a good day.